Hi teachers, today I am going to explain about Foundation Level 2 C8 class 2-player Pong game. In this class, students will recall all the concepts and code blocks learned till now. The goal of this class is to create the 2-player Pong game to stop the ball from hitting the bottom of the screen using a paddle. So in this game, there are no new blocks will be introduced, but the students will concentrate on game designing features. Teachers use this vocabulary while explaining in the class. Now open the slides and start the class with a quick revision of what they have learned in the previous class and then introduce the class narrative. So in the last class they have learned about how the knight runs to reach the gem and by jumping over the obstacles. Now the mystical gem is safe under the protection of knight and the dragon, but the enemy forces are making last effort to get it back using magic. So we need to create a force shield and protect the gem from the magic spell. So this is how the gem is protected, by creating the force shield. Now ask the student to explore this activity and share their observations. So teachers, don't forget to send a request to students for the screen share. So now make the students to play this game and tell them to use right and left arrow keys to move the paddle and keep the gem inside the shield. So let's play this. So by moving this blue paddle, we can make the gem to be inside the shield. Okay. Whenever it is touching the blue paddle, it is bouncing back. Okay. So this is how we are going to protect the gem, and we are going to keep it inside the shield. And once when it crosses the shield, it shows try again. Okay. Then stop the screen share of the students and ask them what did they observe in the activity. Okay. So the blue paddle of the shield rotates with the arrow keys. So when right arrow key is pressed, it is moving right, and when left arrow key is pressed, it is moving left. And the gem bounces inside the shield on touching the paddle. And the try again screen appears when the gem goes out of the shield. So to create this game, we have 3 missions. So the mission 1 is create a shield for the moving gem, and the mission 2 is protect the gem, and the mission 3 is lose condition. So let's start with the mission 1. So the mission 1 is create a shield for the moving gem. So ask the students, how did we add the stage and the actor in the previous classes? So add background is used to add the stage, and add actor is used to add an actor to the game. So now identify the game elements. So gem is an actor, shield is an actor, and also we have used a stage. So use add actor to add the gem and shield, and use add background to add the stage. So now let's start with the student activity 1. So send a request for the students for the screen share. And now here we are going to create a shield for moving gem. So first we need to add the stage here. So for that we have to click on gear icon and then choose this background. So this is the stage. And now we have to add a shield to our game. So for that we need to first download this shield. And now this shield is downloaded. And then we have to click on add actor, upload actor, and then choose the shield and click on open. So the shield will be uploaded. So then after that we have to download this gem image to add into the game. So download this gem, and now this gem is downloaded here. So now click on add actor and then click on upload actor and then choose gem and click on open. So now the gem is added. So after adding the actors, so we are going to move the gem across the screen in the gems coding area. So on start forever, move the gem with 1 pixel. Okay. So, and then try your code. So click on the play button and see how the gem is moving. Okay. So then after this, ask the student to save this code and stop the student screen share, and then congratulate the student for completing the mission 1. So now let's move to the mission 2. So in the mission 2, we are going to protect the gem. So how does the shield move as a students? So on pressing the left and right arrow keys, the shield is moving either to the left direction or to the right direction. Okay. So then ask this question to the student, which of the code blocks below will change the actor as shown? So it is actually turning, right? So that is the reason option B will be the correct answer. So then explain them what are the types of turn the shield is having. Okay, clockwise, that is nothing but moving in the direction of the clock, and counterclockwise, which is moving in the opposite direction of the clock. So if the paddle should be on the right side, then we need to use a turn 90 degrees. And if the paddle should be in the bottom, then we are using a turn 180 degrees. And if the paddle should be on the left side, then we are going to use a turn negative 90 degrees. So ask the students, when does the gem bounce back? Okay. So whenever the gem touches the paddle, okay, so the gem bounces back. Okay. But which block can be used to detect whether the gem is touching the blue paddle? So when touching paddle or when touching color? So here we can't use a touching paddle because the paddle is not a separate actor. It is a part of the shield. Okay. So that is the reason we can use when touching color, because the paddle is in a blue color. So we can make a code that when touching the blue color, the gem should bounce back. Okay. So let's code to move the paddle and bounce the gem. So start with student activity 2 and teachers send a request for the screen share. So then here we are going to code for protecting the gem. So here when ask the student that when should the shield move clockwise. So when left arrow key is pressed, it is moving clockwise. So take this when pressed. When left arrow is pressed, we need to turn with the 25 or 30 degrees angle. Okay. So then again ask the student, when should the shield move anti-clockwise. So when the right arrow key is pressed, it should turn into the anti-clockwise. Okay. So choose here right arrow and take the turn, and you can use 25 degrees. Okay. Yeah. Okay, either you can use 25 degrees or also you can use the 30 degrees. Okay. So now let's see how it is moving. So press the left and right. Okay. Yeah, this is how the paddle is moving. Okay. So and also you saw that gem is already out of the screen, right? So for that, to protect and keep it inside the shield, we need to make the code for it. Okay. So now whenever the gem hits the paddle, it will be bouncing back inside the shield. But how can we identify the gem touching the paddle? So that is by its color. Okay, so now let's code for that. So when touching blue color, so we need to play a pause sound and then turn with some angle. So I'm going to choose here 150 degrees. Okay. So now let's try this code and see how it is protected. Okay. So click on play. Oh. So can you see it is now bouncing back. Okay. So this is how the gem should be protected. Okay. So yeah. Then ask the student to save this code. Okay. And then stop the screen share of the students and come back to the slides. So then congratulate the students for completing the mission 2. So ask this question to the student, which code block will turn the spaceship as shown? So it is obviously turning in the clockwise, so it is option A. Okay, then just have a quick revision of the event and what action was taking place. So we have used the touching color, so it will turn the gem with the angle of 120 degrees. And then when pressing left arrow key, it will turn the shield 25 degrees. And when pressing the right arrow key, it will turn the shield counterclockwise direction with the angle of 25 degrees. So then let's start with the mission 3, that is a loose condition. So in the loose condition, whenever the gem bounces outside the shield and touches the screen edges, okay. So we need to check that, okay. So whenever it is going out of the shield, okay, and it is going to touch the screen edges, then only we will understand that it is out of the shield, okay. So then it shows the try again, okay. Yeah, this is how the loose condition should be done, okay. So now we need to code to stop the game when the gem touches the edges. So for that, let's start with the student activity 3, okay. So teacher send a request for the screen share. Alright, so now this is here, we are going to create a loose condition, okay. So ask a student how to identify that gem is lost. So when the gem touches the screen edges, it is understood that the gem is lost, okay. So for that we need to take when gem touches the edges, okay. So switch the background to try again, okay. So this is what we are going to do, okay. Now after 2 seconds of the background change, okay, so it has to stop all the game then, okay. So for that you have to add here wait 2 seconds block, okay, and then stop all, okay. So this is how the code should be done. So now let's try the code and see how it is showing the try again. So now it is bouncing inside while touching the blue paddle, and once when it reaches out of this shield and touches the edges, it shows try again. So we are using 2 seconds because it has to go out of the shield and reach the screen edges. It takes up around 2 seconds. So that's why we are taking 2 seconds, and then we will stop all the game. So this is how we are going to make the losing condition. So ask the student to save this code and stop the screen share and come back to the slides. Then congratulate the students for completing the mission 3. So congratulate the student for completing this game, okay, and they have created the shield to guard the mystical gem of Codevia. So then discuss about the project, what they have to create. So it is to create a Pong game to hit the bouncing ball with a paddle. So then just summarize the class, what all they have learnt in today's class. So the gem touching the paddle, that is touching blue color, it will turn the gem with the angle of 120 degrees. And then by pressing the left arrow key, the shield will turn with the angle of 25 degrees clockwise. And by pressing the right arrow key, so the shield will turn anti-clockwise with the angle of 25 degrees. Okay? Yes. Now we can add more effects to our game there. Okay? So here we are going to change the color of the gem whenever it is hit by the paddle. So let's start with an additional activity 1. So teachers, if you have a time at the end of the class, you can perform both the additional activities. So here, now whenever the gem touches the paddle, it has to change the color, okay. So for that we are going to take this change color effect by 10 and we are adding it to turn block here, okay. So now let's see how it is done, okay. Let's play this and see. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, see how the color is changing there. When it is hitting the blue paddle, it is changing the color. So this is adding more effects to our game. Okay. So then ask the student to save this and stop the screen share and come back to the slides. Now we have one more additional activity, like whenever the gem goes out of the shield, okay, so it has to show the alert there. Okay, so for that we are going to do the code now. So in this activity, so whenever it is crossing the shield, okay, so we need to first understand when it is crossing the shield, how it is detected. So for that we are going to take when touching yellow color, because our shield is in yellow color. So whenever the gem touches the yellow color, it is understood that it is going out of the shield. So then we need to switch the background to the danger screen. Okay. Then we will understand that the gem is going out of the shield. Okay. Let's try this code and see now. Yes, see. It is showing the red danger alert and then try again. So then ask the student to save this and come back to the slides and also stop the screen share. So also, as this is the end of the module 1 classes, so just have a quick revision like what all they have learnt in the module 1. So they have trained the knight there, and they have created a mystical gem game, and they have created the dragon game where it is going to take a gem to the knight, and they have created a maze game. Also they have learned the concepts of command sequence, loops, collision detection, event handling. Okay, and also they have created the save the knight game, and also with the dragon flight game, and they have done with hurdle jump game, and today they have done with the circular pong game. So also they have learned about the concepts mouse movement, collision detection, game strategy. So then discuss about the next class, what they are going to create some excitement in the next class, so that the students should be very curious about the next class. So we are going to create a game for Agent 7 to navigate through the choppy skies to the safety. So this is all about the C8 class. So in order to deliver the great class, teachers please practice the activities before you go to the class, so that you will be confident enough to deliver it to your students. All the best, teachers. Thank you.